In college athletics, recruiting is everything. And no matter what the sport, teams usually look local first. This is especially prevalent in a state with such a wealth of athletic talent as Texas. Then why are only 3 of the 11 players on the Texas Tech tennis team from the state of Texas, while 5 are from Brazil? That's right, nearly half the roster is Brazilian. And as Coach Tim Siegel explains it, tennis in America is just different from tennis in other countries.
That overseas, whether you're in Europe or Asia, Africa, wherever, tennis is really one of the main sports, tennis and soccer. And so these kids have played a lot. They're very experienced when they come here, and it's that way among all the top schools in the country. Most of them do have some international players. We definitely want Americans, but it's easier for us at Texas Tech to get in some of the top international players.
And a big reason for the Brazilian infusion at Tech is assistant coach Marcelo. Originally from Sao Paulo, Brazil, he knew many of the current Tech players before they came to America and was instrumental in their recruitment.
Most of them I knew. I watched these guys growing up, playing tennis. So, for me it was much easier. Of course, I'm not only looking for Brazilians, but because I'm from there, I know their parents, I know where they practice. So for me, it's much easier to recruit them all.
When I made the decision to hire Marcelo 3 years ago, obviously one of the things that we wanted to do was to try to get some South American players. We also have 2 Ecuadorians, so it's a combination of the same country but also from that region. I've had assistant coaches from Europe, and therefore we brought European players.
And for any foreign player, it's always easier when there's more than one of you. The fact that Tech already has Brazilians on its roster makes it more likely they'll get more Brazilians in the future.
These guys having each other helps so much build their confidence and adjust and adapt to the American lifestyle much easier.
My first semester here, first year, there was no Brazilian, just assistant coach. So I got here and I had no idea how to speak English. And the other guys were really nice to me, so it was a bit easier, but it's different when you have someone from your country that can help you, talk to you.
I think it makes us feel a little bit more at home. It doesn't feel like we're away from home that much. We have someone to talk in Portuguese. During the match, we can just talk to assistant coach Marcelo, which is Brazilian as well. We can just pass energy to our friends in Portuguese, so it just makes us feel more comfortable.
It would be much more hard if I was just by myself from Brazil, because the culture is really different, and like it's easier with them. They always help me. Yeah.
Right. And once I found out that the team was going to have more Brazilians, that made me excited and more interested in coming to be part of the team.
But being part of a team isn't something a lot of young Brazilian players even consider. In Brazil, there are no college teams and really no teams at all. Tennis is completely individual, with most players focused on going straight to the professional ranks. So trying to get a player to come play for an American college is not only a recruitment, but an education as well.
Whenever you talk to these guys, they not only don't know about Texas Tech, but also about all the other schools. That's one issue we got going on in Brazil right now. A lot of these kids are so into playing professional tennis, they have no idea what's going on in the college side of it. So whenever you say Texas Tech or even UCLA and Georgia, they don't really know how good they are, where they're located. So all of them. Whenever I was recruiting, I really had to go through every single step and explain how college tennis worked and where Texas Tech was and how good we've been in the past few years.
In Brazil, we're kind of closed about this college tennis, and I guess that once I started to search about it, I was pretty excited. I started to look about Texas Tech. I heard we have a lot of students there. The campus is beautiful. It's very big, and I started to look about the history of the tennis team, and I liked it a lot. I was very surprised because I never heard of anything about them in Brazil.
And while playing on a team is an adjustment, the players say it's an enjoyable one.
In Brazil, I didn't play for any team. It was just for myself. So I think now it's good to have not just the other 5 players, but the whole team, 10, 11 people cheer for you, and you cannot let them down.
In Brazil, you play for yourself. It's individual. You cannot. Sometimes the coach try to say some stuff from out of the court, but they can't really say anything. And sometimes having Siegel, having Marcelo with me, it's just very good, because sometimes when you're playing, you don't see what's going on very well, and they're outside. They have a different view of what's going on, of your game and everything. So I guess it's just great having them by my side and change sides, and having my teammates screaming to me all the time and trying to talk to me and give me positive energy.
When you're playing on your own, you don't feel a lot of pressure when you have the other guys because you don't have anybody pushing you. So when you lose, you lose. When you win, you win. But I think when you're playing and you have 5 teammates rooting you on and cheering you up, is actually easier for you to get pumped up and win sometimes when you're down and you think, I got to fight for these guys. So I think these are the adjustments the guys are making right now. And they're really happy, with the situation. They're like, we never play in a team, and it's so exciting to having these guys rooting for me.
Of course, that's not the only difference between Brazil and America. For example, these might be the only guys you ever meet that consider Lubbock, Texas, cold.
I guess the weather is pretty different. Lubbock's pretty cold. I've seen snow a few times there for the first time in my life.
The weather is really different. Like here it's much more cold and humid.
I come from a place that is pretty warm and no wind at all. And here, cold, windy, always.
Hopefully there aren't any road trips to the northern states anytime soon. For Big12Sports.com, I'm Sam Newman.